Now, NATO is asking the UK to consider sending more troops to Afghanistan to support the government. The alliance's Secretary-General, Jens Stoltenberg, is travelling to London on Wednesday, where he's expected to formally ask Prime Minister Theresa May. Now, a recent UN report warns the security situation has grown more volatile since the Taliban stepped up attacks as part of its spring offensive. Well, Andreas Krieg is an assistant professor at the Defence Studies Department at King's College in London and joins me now from London via Skype. How controversial is the proposal and how do you expect it to be received in Downing Street?
Hello, good evening. That's a good question. I think that this announcement has to be seen within a wider political context rather than from a strategic operational point of view. We know that the UK public is widely averse to getting drawn back into Afghanistan. It's a highly unpopular campaign. So what we see here is that May is trying to present to Trump that she is the special partner that Trump needs at the moment. The UK obviously is under a lot of pressure after or looking towards the Brexit for developing new partnerships in the world. And obviously they want to show that they can be the partner that the US needs in a common campaign, whatever is needed, especially when it comes to burden sharing in NATO. And May already told Trump in her visit to Washington that she will support Trump when it comes to a US campaign overseas. And I think this is part of such a promise.
How difficult is this request then to receive in the light of an upcoming general election when the major parties are at, you might say, different poles of this argument?
Obviously, the opposition leader, Corbyn, today opposed this move, and obviously he's trying to win votes here. It depends on how May is portraying this. If she's obviously going to portray this as not a major escalation, because it will not be a major escalation. The US is bound to send an additional 3,000 troops in the UK, obviously very short in capacity at the moment, will not send more than an additional 100 troops to those roughly 500 UK troops that are in Afghanistan at the moment. So I don't see this as a major escalation, and May will portray it as such. It will not be a major escalation. They will engage in all sorts of different forms of defense engagement. They will not take most of them will not take an active role in combat. They will do capacity building in Afghanistan, support the Afghan security sector and the Afghan military to become more capable to fight this war.
Of course. Andreas, can I just butt in, because we're running out of time, actually, because in the same breath, President Trump has been saying that NATO allies have to not only pay their fair share, but do their fair share. So by Jens Stoltenberg going into London to speak to the British Prime Minister, obviously various European capitals will be watching very carefully as to what sort of requests or demands might be made, either from Washington, D.C. or even London eventually.
Exactly. This is a signal towards the EU as well. May is saying, you guys have to step up the game. We, as the UK, despite all the austerity crisis capacity problems that the UK military might have, we are willing to step up the game. Now it's your turn. And that's definitely a signal towards Berlin and towards Paris to do their fair share in Afghanistan.
Well, for the moment, Andreas Krieg in London, thanks so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you.